Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the Formula One podcast. Join the guys as they discuss races gone, races to come. Everything in between, race news, race previews, race reviews, race predictions. If you want a little bit of an insight into where these guys think the race is going to go, check it out. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. Obviously the big one, the daddy of all the things you could possibly do. Share the podcast around. If you've got a Formula One fan in your life, send this podcast their way. They will love it. Right, let's get started. Here we go. This is CookieCast, straight to the apex.
Hello. It's not James's turn to host this week. It is mine. We've done a little switcheroo, as someone I'd like to say on the Formula One commentary team. James has been sunning himself in Italy, so I've stepped up in this week. Welcome to Straight to the Apex podcast, Series 4, Episode 7. Joining me, Mr. Tony Rawson.
Good evening.
And fresh from... All I'm going to say is from Italy, where as he was in the country, the Pope died. I'm not saying he had anything to do with it, but it's James. People that listen and watch know he's got history. And Mr. James Stainforth.
Hi.
What had the Pope done wrong? What had he said? What didn't he listen to the podcast? Is that why he killed him?
Is that? Because he didn't listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know, did you promote the podcast when you was away in Italy?
I did, and a lot of people got upset because just going straight to the apex is actually not Italian for straight to the apex.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I did say some stuff.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm sure Tony will upset any new Italian fans listening because he does like to pick a country at random. So watch out, Italy. Thank you, as always, to Andy, especially for last week. Obviously, James wasn't here. Me and Tony had a bit of a nightmare. Poor Andy had a lot of a nightmare because they had our podcast a couple of weeks ago, 2 wrestling podcasts, a football podcast, and Zoom decided to fucking shut down. So me and Tony had fun while James was out in Italy. So Andy, thank you for sorting it. It's seamless. No one would ever know that it was recorded on 2 different platforms. And recording that second half, not knowing if this would actually record or not, was quite fun. And then Tony and me had the realization we was both on our work laptops. So, goes through our work IT. Holy fuck.
It was either the second half, the best second half of a podcast on Straight to the Apex ever, because it was just so serious, to the point, professional, or we were just so shit scared throughout the whole second half because we just didn't want to put a foot wrong anywhere, just in case suddenly 5 other people turned up from various workplaces. So yeah, it was challenging. Last week was challenging.
I can only describe it as... Go on, James.
You pulled it off. You did a great job. And you're still more reliable and cheaper than Sky Sports with their coverage of anything at the moment.
Correct. Because the Rovers game at weekend was a fucking joke against Leeds on Sky. Absolute joke.
Why? What happened?
Sue got sent off and then Sky went off for the best part of, 12 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, as soon as it came back on, we was all sitting there thinking, well, we've had a player sent off, we're behind. that's it, we're just going to lose now. And 12 to 15 minutes later, the sound kicks in, and all you hear is, cracking try that. It's a 12-pointer again. There's nothing in it. This could be the comeback. And I'm sitting there going, great. So we've missed what is probably one of the best tries of the game. Fucking brilliant.
I pay you £90 a month, Sky. Sort it the fuck out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sky needs fucking good, doesn't it? Like Sky needs to just. It's
Do
just
what?
Going back to the 2 weeks ago podcast, I feel like that was the closest I'd ever get to working on the BBC because I had to think about everything I said before I said it. And me and Tony were very, 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 very grateful. James was 1,000 miles away and wasn't on the podcast because would he give a fuck if he was on Work's laptop? No.
There wouldn't have been one. There wouldn't have been a second part.
They just I'm sorry, I'm out. I'm done.
It'd have made me worse. It'd be like them ones where you see like the bloke suddenly just goes to the toilet and then everyone else like, James, your camera's on. James, your camera's on.
Yeah, and you've been in the toilet like,
I thought I was catching the last then. So, boys, like we're going to talk about Saudi Arabia very briefly because it was 2 weeks ago. But have we any news since Saudi Arabia?
I did see something, and I've forgotten. What's going on with Alonso?
He's at Aston Martin.
I know, but I saw something early where he just said, "I'll see if I can find something that motivates me this weekend."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He likes them type of comments, though, doesn't he? Kind of throwing like a subtle shade at people at things.
I didn't realise he was part of Bortoletto's management team.
Really?
So they nearly hit each other. Spoiler alert! It was 2 weeks ago, but at Saudi Arabia, Bortoletto nearly hit Alonso, and they said something on commentary, and I thought, what? And they said Bortoletto nearly hit his manager, and I thought, why is he on the track? Like how what? And it turns out, Alonso is part of Bortoletto's management team, which is a bit odd.
Very, very odd.
I will see how motivated I am. Alonso opens up on his F1 Future podcast.
Right, he's coming on here. Sign him up.
Is that world exclusive there?
How much are you getting paid for these podcasts, Andy? Have you got enough to pay for a two-time world champion?
GP2 podcast. That's what he'll be saying on
We could stick with Aston Martin and get Stroll. He'll probably go cheap. In fact, we might get actually paid for him.
Yeah, I was going to say they'll pay us, so Andy can make some money if we get Lance Stroll on.
Yes, it's like when the government pay you to look after your gran.
Yeah. I don't know if the podcast will be any better with Lance Stroll on there.
Well, they won't talk about Formula One.
It'd probably be worse.
It would. Interesting comment from he's 5 or 6 races into a new season, and he needs to find something that motivates him.
Yeah, he's on about what he's going to do at the end of this season into 2026 because he doesn't want to do anything that's going to compromise Aston Martin. Right. I don't think he's got anything to worry about because Stroll's there.
Well, yeah, he compromises them pretty much every weekend.
I mean, I think he's got everything to worry about because Stroll's there. Unless when he joined Aston Martin, it was made very clear that Lance is staying to the inevitable.
He's there until Lawrence decides we're not going to win out. I'm selling up. Lance is going nowhere because he's not going to kick his son out of that team. And I reckon every engineer there is probably going, Lance is such a lovely guy. But is he fast? But he's such a nice guy. But is he fast? Is he pushing the car? He's really nice, Really nice.
He is like when someone tries to fix you up with some girl and they're like, what's she like? Has she is she quite attractive? Is she pretty? And he's like, she's got a really nice personality. Yeah, but is she like really, is there something really good to grab hold of and all that kind of stuff? Like, she's got a really nice personality, and he's like, great.
She's as good as gold. I mean, what does that mean? Yeah, it's just absolute shit. It is. Yeah. Let's be honest. He should be nowhere near the F1 grid. We've said this a lot. But he is. And also, do you feel like Lance being Lance, what we've said about other driver lineups, they push the car, they push the team to then develop the car. Do you think Lance does that? Or do you think they never see him in the factory?
I think he does push the car. He does race the car. But I think he probably does the bare minimum of everything else. I don't know. So it's a strange one. Is his heart in it, and his head isn't, or is it the other way around?
Your dad
I
owns.
don't know. I've never been in that position of him, so it's really difficult. Like looking back at my life, like was I in a position where I was just there and I didn't? I don't know.
Does
I
your dad
can't.
own the NHS? Like
That's
that
the
point you
thing.
feel
Like I
was
don't.
in that position?
That's what I'm trying to think. Like I can't. I don't know. I'm not. It's really hard to relate to his position to then pass a comment, but it's only what we've already discussed. Like he could do no wrong, basically, and he's proven that last season and season on season, he can spin the car and then drive it straight into the gravel. He can smash the car up. He can hurt himself and still turn up and do whatever he wants. Like he can turn up when he wants. He can. It don't matter because his dad owns the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what can you say to him? How can you motivate a person like that? How do you? Because he's there out of principle.
Mm.
So where does his motivation to race come from? I don't know.
It is.
Is it just fun to him? Is it just
Maybe.
fun? Like
Because he can't do
there's
anything
no,
else.
like,
It's
yeah.
gotta be, isn't it?
It's like we all go and play sport. We all go run and we all like whatever. Golf, for instance. I don't, but you two do. Like you go and play golf for fun. Like as soon as you start adding in like financial, like you're paid to play, and if you play and you play well, you're gonna win X amount. Like, but you're playing to just have fun and try and be a bit better. Like there's no real pressure.
Mm.
What is Lance Stroll's pressure?
That's a really good way of looking at, and I was thinking the same kind of thing. But I like what you say about it's like golf. Yes, I play golf. Is it for fun? Maybe when I'm about to tee off on the first hole, and then everything after that, no. But you're right. I'm not paid to play, so I just play for fun. And that's the same with Lance Stroll. It's like every driver out there, they want to be the world champion. They want to get a lot of bloody money. I mean, Verstappen on like 80 million and Hamilton not far behind and stuff like that. Stroll probably gets paid and is like, and?
Well, does that play to his advantage? If he's just driving for fun, then he must have very little pressure compared to the other drivers in respect to like a rookie or somebody in the second or third season or somebody who's a veteran, somebody who's trying to race for a contract. What does he have to prove? I don't think Lance Stroll has to prove anything.
No.
And that's a hard thing to get your head around, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
I think, and another thing that I heard this week, and it's probably quite, you can't buy, if you got all the money, you can buy this, buy that, buy training, buy kit, buy everything. You can't buy a reputation. Can you?
You can't buy talent either. I mean,
No.
you are only as good as you can do. you can, like, certain drivers can overdrive a car, but that talent's within them. Like, I'm never going to be an Olympian running. I'm fairly decent at football, but I'm never going to be a footballer. I never was going to be when I was in my teenage years or my 20s. That my talent got me as far as it did. I didn't get any further. And so, like I say, if my dad had bought a football team, yeah, I'd have probably played for him. But is that right? Would you like to live your life like that? I don't think I would. I'd want to do it on my own merit. That, look, I've done it myself. Like, I've got the talent has got me into a club. It's got me to League Two, League One, Conference, whatever. James plays golf, like you rightly said. If all of a sudden he started fucking getting holes in one nearly in everything, and then he goes against not Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is a bad example. Rory McIlroy, and starts beating him, then that talent has took him there, like you say. So Lance is he's coasting, and is that because he couldn't do fuck all else? And he didn't want to be a 9 to 5 guy in a normal job. And he wanted to, I want to race, Dad. I want to race, Dad. But his dad's just been, right, okay, I've got the money just to let you race, son. You're making me lose multi-millions of pounds a year. But look, you're doing something you want to do. In a way, that's quite a good parent, but also not a very good parent. It's got a bit of a balance in it. I mean, you're a parent, James. If you had all the money in the world, would you buy an F1 team for John? Oh, that was deep. Fucking hell.
Possibly.
Really?
But he has to justify it.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's that and that. Yeah.
He wants something. If he can earn it, or he can tell me why he needs it, or what he's going to do with it, fine. I mean, great. At the moment, he's 6 years old. He's not going to be saying, I want to be, I don't know, a leading mathematician and, find the next ultra prime number and stuff like that. And be like, right, okay, well, let me get you the best computer out there in the world. He's nowhere near that at the moment. Yeah. He's gone off Paw Patrol, gone to Star Wars. But, in a couple of years' time, when he's like, I want to be this, right, well, I'll help you where I can.
Yeah. I
won't go out and just throw money at it and go, right.
No.
I suppose you'd go through the levels. You'd go through that, and you like, oh yeah, I do like this, Dad, and then he does a bit better at that level, and then it's like, oh, we could do this now. You're getting older. Do you still fancy it? Yes, okay. So you just keep going up the levels, and you go up and up and up. So I think what for me, and it's probably for the majority of people, it boils down to just pure envy of, I wish my dad had a fucking shit ton of money and could have took me fucking karting and bought me the best fucking kart and then gone everywhere every weekend because we've got the time, we've got the money, and we just keep fucking going like that. We keep going. Then suddenly, like, I'm a bit older, I can drive big cars now. Do you know what I mean? But we just keep going and we just keep going, and yeah, I don't know. Same with every sport. You get into golf, you want the best clubs, the best gear. You want to play at the best courses. You want the best coaches. And you've got the time to do it because you've got the money, because you've earned it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Envy. I think back to when I swam. Jesus Christ. I had some of the best gear that my mum and dad could afford. Went to some of the best places to swim. We went to a place where we got coached by the best in it over a weekend, and training fees, monthly fees, competition fees, month after month, week after week, and it's like, fucking hell. You look back and you think, fucking hell, that's a lot of fucking money. Shit. But Lance Stroll, Lawrence Stroll, are on another fucking planet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I say, he's got money to give away. Like, do you know what I mean? A couple of million here and there is like 100 quid to us, innit? You know what I mean? So Look, you know,
On the-
yeah. So Saudi Arabia, I mean, it was 2 weeks ago. I'm literally going to whiz through quali and we'll whiz through the race. But quali notes I've got. Gasly left the garage with a tyre warmer still clinging to his front tyre. Not seen that for a long time. Lawson got an unsafe release that was dismissed by the stewards. Norris hit the wall in Q3, bringing out the red flag. We'll talk about Norris. Max Verstappen beat Piastri by 0.010 of a second in what is a terrible Red Bull.
Is it though?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
It's terrible in the respect of previous seasons. And I think there's a rhetoric at the minute that it's bad, it's terrible. I think that is only playing into his hands because he's seen as an underdog for the first time in many years. And oh, he's up there again. We didn't expect him to be up there again. It's playing into this Red Bull hands, I think,
It
massively.
pushes Max, only that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff actually gets on Max. And that's when you see, what kind of driver he is.
Exactly. It motivates him. You
Yeah.
underestimate me at your peril. And you think McLaren have got the better car? Well, they have. Well, it's a challenge to me. I'm going to beat them, even in my less superior car.
I mean, the fact is, the McLarens are the fastest on the track.
Mm.
The Red Bull isn't anymore. It's pretty much McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull's either just behind them or somewhere in between them two. And that's the be all and end all. And it's just going to be a mind game for Max. It does push him, and he will prove it. But he is showing a lot of frustration as well. I mean, every week, barring granted, I haven't seen the whole race from Saudi, but every time you hear on the radio, he is kicking off about that car. He's not happy about something, whether it's the rear or the front or just the car in general. I don't agree with Horndog though, going wrong. Oh, it's the fastest car on the track. It's like bullshit.
Yeah.
Nah, shut up, man.
The McLaren is the most rounded car on the grid. It can do fast corners, it can do slow corners. It's got great traction. It's got that pointy front end, so it turns when you want it to turn. Max, you see struggling. I can't remember which way it is, but it's slow. It's either slow in fast corners or slow in slow corners. One or two, it's got a weakness. Its traction is absolutely terrible. Like, he was being left for dead coming out of some corners. And Max is getting frustrated. However, he is managing to literally, how he put that pole lap together, I do not know. Because that car, like you say, Tony, the car is still quick. I think it's probably ahead of Ferrari, but there's not much in it. The fact that he pulled that out and beat Piastri, it amazes me. It amazes me. And it shows you, like I say, we're not his biggest fans, but boy, that kid has got some talent.
Yes, 100%. Talent, determination, world champion 4 times. He's won up nearly every circuit, if every circuit.
3 times.
Even with a not so great car, he's there. He's there. You can't deny that. Yeah, and he will forever be there every race, I think, unless he has an absolute mare.
So,
I think he's changing.
do you think? In what way?
Mm. And this is something Charlie said, and so I'm not going to take full credit for this. It's some of the comments he makes. He never says he's going to stay around. He's made it quite clear he's not interested in being a 7 or an 8-time world champion.
No.
And he was asked something recently, and he effectively said it's a young man's game. I think because he's going to be a dad and stuff like that. Is he now looking at it different? Because you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I can vouch for it, and anyone else who become a dad can as well. You look at everything completely different. Christ, at one point, he'd get in that car, be like, I'm going to sling it, and if I hit that wall, I hit that wall. But now he's probably going to be like, I'm going to sling it, but I need to be careful because if I hit that wall, I think there's plenty of F1 drivers out there and not out there. Your Jules Villeneuves, your Ayrton Senna's, Schumacher. Now, granted, not all of them became dads and stuff like that, but he's smart enough to know it's not a safe sport at the end of the day, and it's not like football where you might break a bone and have a compound fracture and stuff like that. It's like people lose their heads.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this is the start of an end of Max Verstappen's career as an F1 driver?
Yeah, I think he'll go down the Seb Vettel kind of route. I think he'll do a couple more seasons and then he'll be like, you know what, I'm good. And he'll still race, but it'll be in the sims, I reckon.
Yeah.
I agree. I think a lucrative deal from another team in the new regs for a couple of years, and then he's done.
Well, there was the rumours, weren't they? That it's between Mercedes and
I don't know.
Aston Martin.
Why?
Mercedes.
Why are Mercedes after him? I don't understand that. I
think they were, but I think they're quite happy now, and rightly bloody so as well.
I think
I don't think to change anything now. I think the three drivers they've got are brilliant.
I think one of the reasons Mercedes are after him, and Tony, I know you're now a fan. I think that Mercedes, whatever they've done over the winter, they've ironed out all the problems because it looks a more stable car. It looks competitive. It's not doing the things that George and Lewis were moaning about. However, I honestly think that car is probably quicker in the hands of someone like Max Verstappen. I don't think George Russell is doing great. Don't get me wrong; he was fair in quali. He's doing a solid job. It's like a rugby league or a football player. He's probably a 7 out of 10 every week. But Max was a 9 or a 10 out of 10. George, I don't think George has got that in him. I think he might have one good week where he's an 8. I don't think he's got a 9 or a 10 in him. And I think that if you put Max Verstappen in that car and it drove to how he likes it, and it probably would, because Max can pretty much, once he gets it, he doesn't have to change much and he can drive it. I honestly think that Max could probably be dominating up there with McLaren if in the hands of Max. And I think maybe Toto's thought, do you know what? The data is showing that, like you've just said, maybe they overlay the data with Max and you can see he's carrying more speed and he's doing that. And you're thinking, fuck, that Red Bull's terrible, but he's carrying more speed than George. Our car is within the capabilities because George just isn't doing that X factor, the Lionel Messi, the Cristiano Ronaldo, the Mo Salah, that X factor driver. And maybe that's why Mercedes are thinking, hang on a minute, if we can get 2 seasons out of Max under the new regs with a new engine, new regulation, new aero.
And obviously now they've got Anthony, and the way he's performing as well. I love that kid, and he is very quickly becoming one of my favourite drivers. I don't think there's much interest in there now, so I think there's still Aston Martin sniffing around.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to back together with it?
Money. I think the money is the biggest thing. He's achieved everything. So, and if he's on the way out, that's why I asked the question, and I completely agree. Surely he'll be in it for the money, like Premier League footballers, isn't it? They come to the end of the career, they can't hack it at the highest level, go where the money is, whether that's in Saudi, Middle East, or America, or China. And I think it just makes sense. I thought there's this Mercedes Max Verstappen dream almost that keeps. And I know I get what Mark's saying about George Russell. I do, but I can't imagine George Russell anywhere else. I can't.
No, I can't.
No,
No.
he'll stick around, and annoyingly, he'll get given ambassadorship, and that I mean, I'll be pissed off with that,
Yeah.
and obviously Hamilton will be fucking furious with that because that is all he wanted. He would stay there, and that's all he wanted. And you look at everything he did with them; it's just ridiculous that they just didn't do it. It's not much, but yeah. Have you heard what he was saying this week as well?
No.
I mean, he probably used some really big words as well, but he boiled it down to, you know, if I'd been here 5 years earlier, you'd be talking to a 2-time world champion right now. What? Shut up, dickhead.
He's all talk. He needs to, I don't know. There's just something about him. I just don't think he's as good as he thinks he is. Like in that group, like he always posts of, is it him, Norris, Max, Albon? They're all in like a little clique, aren't they?
Yeah, there's something about him, right? There's something about him that there's two types of people, and there's something about George Russell. There's the one person where it winds the fuck up him. Like it pisses him off. He's just a fucking weirdo. Woody, annoying. And then there's the second person, well, first person is Mark Wilkin. The second person is that you kind of embrace it and you just think it's a bit weird, isn't he? Like you just laugh at him. It's almost like it's just comedy. It's just great, and he's got his ways. And that second person's me, and I don't know why. I'm just warming to him.
But you was in my camp, and you've kind
that's what I mean. And I've moved. It's just a quintessential English gentleman that's just dorky. Bit of a dork.
An English gentleman wouldn't big himself up like George does. An English gentleman is understated, and he'd just win it and go, "Well, I won it." George is all about, like you say, that comment. I didn't know that comment. Like, oh, I'd be too. No, you wouldn't.
You pissed him off now.
Oh, that's it. I'm done. Oh, red rag to a bull now.
In hindsight, again, though, isn't it? It's like politicians when they're not in charge of stuff, and like, oh, well, you know, if I was in charge, I wouldn't have done that. And it's like, all right, well, what would you have done? I wouldn't have done that. And it's like, you're gonna say it? I wouldn't have done that. It's like, well, fuck off under a rock and die.
Yeah, exactly. Right, we've got 4 minutes left of this first half. I just want to touch on Lando Norris.
You want to touch Lando Norris?
No, I don't want to touch Lando Norris.
That's what I heard.
It's recorded.
I don't want to touch Lando Norris. I want to touch.
Why don't you want to touch Lando Norris? What's wrong with him? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just?
No, it's not my type. Just no. Is the pressure
got in his goatee?
What is it they say in Tropic Thunder? Work the shaft, smoke the pipe, swallow the gravy.
Churn your age, yeah. Churn your age. Tropic Thunder was.
Oh God! Won't be allowed to say it now. None of that. Downey Jr. with face paint on.
But he did defend his position, didn't he? Yeah, he did say, "Look, I did that role. That was the role. I'm standing by it."
Yeah.
And people.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress. Lando.
Back to Lando.
Yeah, back to touching Lando. Is the pressure getting to him? Is the pressure like quali? So we're talking about quali. He crashed in Q3. He's been down in the dumps. He's had an attitude. Maybe I'm no good, he's saying in like race after race interviews. All the pressure was on him pre-season. Him in the fastest car, he will win the championship. He's the guy. Oscar's now in front of him in the championship. It is only early. is Lando Norris cracking under the pressure? What we've said all along.
I think he'll sort himself out, but I don't even think that this is a 3-minute conversation.
No, I don't. I think we'll
I
continue.
completely agree with what James just said. I gave him my opinion slightly last week, so I'm interested to see what James's lowdown on that is.
Yeah, but yours was a PC version of your opinion because we was being very good boys. Because we was on Works computers. We was being very good boys. No swearing. No controversy.
Okay, then I'll give my opinion then. I'll give you my opinion. Maybe James after the break.
Right.
You'll have and leave it on like a cliffhanger, so the viewers will have to.
Let's leave it on a cliffhanger. So you've got 2 minutes. Leave it on a cliffhanger, Tony.
Okay, right. So.
And we've finished. Goodbye. See you next. Go on.
I think Lando Norris is a very good driver. I think he can win the championship. He's capable of it. There was a lot of hype end of last season, during the break, the start of this season, cracking first race. It's kind of gone off kilt a little bit. Is he cracking under the pressure? Yes. And that is evident in the mistake of Jeddah. Absolutely, what are we doing there? Crash, quality, game over. I think with his teammate being the way he is, only adds more pressure to Lando Norris because his teammate is younger in experience and has a personality of a wall that has been painted. And I think that is the absolute almost crux of adding more pressure onto him.
Let's leave it there. I think you should end with he's got the personality of a wall. So we'll finish it there. We'll finish it there.
Will Lando Norris come back? Will he come back?
We'll talk about the fraud in the second half. So we'll see you soon.
Hey, you. Yeah, you that's listening right now. Thanks very much for tuning into this episode of Straight to the Apex, the Formula One podcast from CookieCast. If you're enjoying this episode, why not like, share and subscribe? Whilst you're there, feel free to check out some of the other podcasts that CookieCast has to offer. If you like football, we got a football podcast. NFL more your thing? Then the Laces Out podcast is for you. Maybe even a little bit of the wrestling. Just look for the Getting Over podcast on CookieCast. Maybe you want to listen to Andy's Darkest Timeline. It's there too. So, the F1 boys have probably got themselves a drink. It's time to get back to the action.
And we're back, and we are not on a different platform. It hasn't taken us 1 hour to fucking fathom it out. Well done, Zoom. We've got shit together. So we're back. So we've just had a bit of a nostalgic trip down memory lane with, flip car stereo fronts and removable fronts. Tony doesn't understand the pain. Me and James had tape players in our car, probably.
Oh, shit.
And then a CD player. Oh, James is pulling a face. Did you have a tape player?
No, but I was just suddenly thinking, yeah, we know what it means when you get the pencil out for your cassette tape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tony, no.
No, I used to take the front of my stereo with me for some reason, and when I got my first Audi, I think it was like so many months after I got it.
Whoa! Fucking hell! When I got my first Audi, I mean, wow, clang! I don't do anything other than an Audi.
It had an aftermarket stereo in. And I only after a few months I realised that if you pressed a button, the fucking screen came out and popped up.
I had a fucking Rover Metro with a tape player in that had 4 gears. It was a 1.1C. The C stood for crap because it was a fucking bag of shit.
4 gears.
Awful. And the guy that sold it to me, when I first cleaned it out, it had a bra in. And Katie, being very, very understanding, was like, didn't go, whose is this? She was like, what's this? When I rang the car salesman, he went, "Oh yes, me and my wife did a test drive in it the other week. Nice. They had good suspension apparently.
Was the leather seats as well, so they could wipe down quite easily?
It was material. Let's just just hope that
I'm
there was
stuck on 4 gears still. Four gears.
All I'm going to say, mate, is that passenger seat had the same fucking strength as a teenage boy's sock.
exactly.
4 gears.
4 gears and a manual choke. Something you've probably never had to do. You don't even know what that is, do you?
Are we talking about who you bought the car off now, or are we talking about the actual car itself? I don't know.
Your car
are we
has
saying that Mo was into being choked?
when
I'm nearly there, love. Choke me out.
Manually.
That Metro rocking now. But
what's an automatic
Got the
choke?
seatbelt around my neck. There we go.
Wow. Anyway, back to the fraud that is Lando Norris. So continue, Tony. Continue.
Lando Norris. I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to get his head in the gear. Is way up. There you go.
In the 4th gear. Only 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I think he'll pull through. I think he will.
James, what do you think?
I'm the. Don't get me wrong. He has been down a lot the last couple of weeks, but other drivers are pulling up now. I think Lewis Hamilton's made comments. Obviously, we all know Seb Vettel did, and he came out and said quite a lot. And then after that, Norris came out and went, "I really respect that, and you know, I love Seb and blah 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 blah." I think you're right. He did get a lot of pressure pre-season. Obviously, winning the first race would have built up that pressure. But if he doesn't need the winning mindset, he just needs to look at what he has actually done. Because let's face it, he was the fastest in Jeddah through most of practice, quite a lot of quali, right up until the point he hit a wall. And everyone was like, "Why did he do that? He had no need to do that," and he didn't.
No.
So I think he then just pushed it too much. So for me, all he's got to do is think, I am able to do that. I just need to rein it in that little bit and take it easy. Well, not take it easy, but it's there. He's got the equipment. He's got the mindset. He just needs to, again, going back to golf, instead of hitting the ball as fucking hard as you can, let the club do the work for you. He's just got to do that with the car.
The thing that worries me though, James, is that he's done a bit too much too often. Like it keeps happening. And I know what I've just said. Am I thinking with my heart there or my head? Probably more my heart.
Yeah.
And I
want to see. At the end of the day, all three of us want the same thing. We just don't want to see Max win it.
Correct.
And that's no disrespect to Max.
Yeah.
But are we all in agreement that we'd like to see a British world champion?
No.
Really?
Wow. I would be happy. You what? Sorry, James.
I would like to see a British world champion, just not
George. A certain person in red, like a lady in red.
Oh, in red. Absolutely.
No, I was Lando Norris.
Would I be happy if he won the title? Yes. Would I be surprised? Yes. I wouldn't be disappointed, but I feel, like I've said before, I've actually, out of the two of them, my fandom would be on Piastri. I'd love to see him win the title.
So you'd prefer to see Piastri win over Norris?
Yeah, I would.
Wow. What? Rip that motherfucker's passport right now.
Fuck the Brits.
Get him on a plane.
St. Louis, it's fucking nobody.
Take him.
Right, I'm not being funny, but between you two, I won't be able to fucking go anywhere soon. He's upsetting every fucking country out there. You've upset the home one.
Yeah.
You're leaving with like Scotland, Wales, and Ireland.
And no one wants to go to any of them places.
Who wants to go there?
I know. So the race, we've
Wow.
kind of quickly touched on quali. The race, I mean,
there's one big talking point.
Let's forget the result. Everyone knows the result. You've been living under a rock if you don't know the result. There is possibly one big talking point that happened. Are we talking about maybe the second corner, Tony?
Correct.
So let's cut straight to it. Max Verstappen doing his usual trick of coming off the brakes and going across and then saying, "Oh, he didn't leave me enough room. Simply lovely." What do we think? Do we think that? I mean, he didn't leave him room, but do we think this is Max being Max with his little tricks and his little bending of the rules?
This is Max getting Verstappen and not liking it.
Yeah.
Because he did it on that turn plenty of times in the past.
Yeah.
So I think he went off deliberately, knowing what would happen.
Yep, I do.
And then went for it.
Why didn't he give the place back?
That was Red Bull being Billy Big Heads. We haven't done anything wrong, Max. You just carry on. Blinded. Like, he lost out. Let's be honest. I mean, the 5-second penalty was 5 seconds. Oscar got in front. If they'd have just give the place back, he probably could have hung with Oscar for a little bit, maybe passed him.
Brundle said it. Brundle was brutal with his comment. I can't remember exactly what it was, but effectively what he said was it comes down to Red Bull's own arrogance of them being, we're Red Bull, we're indestructible, we get away with everything. And they just went too far with it. And yeah, if he would have given that position back, we say it all the time. You can choose when you give the position back.
Yeah.
You give that position back just at the right time. You've then straight away got DRS and you can just take it back legally. He could have done that, but instead he pushed on and he had clean air. He could keep his tyres. Piastri was in dirty air, burning through his tyres. It gave him more of an advantage. I'm more surprised that they took it down to 5 seconds from 10.
Yeah. We saw like Sainz and Hamilton, they passed each other twice because, like you say, they played the game of getting to the DRS line at the right time and then coming in front. Norris and Hamilton, they swapped places a few times. All Max had to do is give the place back, wait for a lap, bang. DRS, see you later. And he'd have probably controlled the race because, like you say, Piastri's tyres would have been knackered. McLaren, however good car it is, I mean, Norris did well to come up to fourth, but however good a car it is, them cars can't follow. So would Piastri have breezed by Max? Possibly not. But like you said, that's the word I was looking for. The arrogance of Horner and Red Bull. It's just absolute beggar's belief that they didn't just say, do you know what, give the place back. But that's why I like Piastri, because he gives it to Max. He takes no prisoners. He takes no bullshit. Norris is a bit too nicey-nicey. Piastri's like, I can give a flying fuck. He's ruthless without being a dick, where Max is sometimes ruthless and a dick. I mean, there was a couple of pit stop while we're talking about Red Bull. There was a couple of pit stop errors. Brundle and Crofty alluded to the fact that Jonathan Wheatley is no longer at the team manager, and these are now creeping in.
It's happening a lot as well now. I've noticed this season. Little things where all of a sudden it's not sub 2 seconds or just over 2 seconds. It's like 2.5, maybe sometimes 3.
Is this all a bit of a fallout from Christian Horner being Christian Horner? Like, Jonathan Wheatley was, he was the team, but he was not the team principal, but he was quite a high position. And all right, he's gone to Sauber, which will be Audi as a team principal, but quite high pressure roller team principle. When you're in Jonathan Wheatley's position, that you just control all the team members and the pit stops and the crew, and that's your role. Why would you get up and leave? So, is this the start of Red Bull not being as efficient and quick? And like I say, we've all talked about the design of the car not being as good because a certain Mr. Adrian Newey is left and other people within the ranks. Interesting times for Red Bull. Very interesting.
Mm.
Can Horney keep it together? Not just in his pants. I mean, the
Oh,
I think the heyday has gone, hasn't it?
again.
What a heyday it was. I mean, that you're not gonna get a better season than that, are you? Ever.
You know what? I was just about to say, why is this heyday any different to the Vettel heyday? But then saying that, I don't even think under Vettel they had such a dominant season as
No.
That car
23 season.
No, they
that
didn't.
car unfortunately not a Red Bull fan, is the most prestigious car you could say of F1 in the modern era for sure. I think only the McLaren had a better season, but it was a lot shorter season. But that car was the most successful car. I'd need a model of it, to be honest. Really seriously thought of getting a model of it. Because it is.
Why don't you get the Lego one and build it?
No, because I'm not 12.
I'm currently building the Guardians of the Galaxy Milano ship. Like, don't dare slag off Lego. Wow.
There we go.
Join it. Be a Lego.
No.
You'll grow up, mate. You'll grow up and you'll get like me and James and be like, do you know what? I like Lego. And then we'll remind you of this. Don't forget it's recorded. So when you say, I'm not 12, we'll replay it back to you when you're in your 30s and 40s and we'll be like, funny that, innit? Funny.
You saw my post the other day. I went to watch fucking Star Wars Episode 3 in the cinema. Then I came home and I started the Lego Rex helmet. I haven't finished it yet, but...
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm getting John for Christmas. Well, sorry. John Lego for Christmas.
Grow up, Tony. Embrace the Lego.
Join us.
Yeah.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Gasly and Tsunoda collided, bringing out safety car. Yeah. Lawson handed a 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage with his battle with Doohan.
Except for being a prick, but no, it wasn't.
no, but you've said it. Norris was under investigation for crossing the pit lane exit, but it was dismissed. Only real things from the race is Lewis was finishing 7th and seems a bit despondent. And how good was Sainz in the Williams? Like, suddenly he's in the top 10. It's like he's worked out the car. We've doubted his talent. Is he now, outshining Albon, and actually his talent is coming through in that Williams? But Hamilton, Sainz, you take your pick.
Hamilton has basically, he's almost took 3 steps back. No, he's took like 3 steps forward and then 4 steps back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like in respect of forward, moved to arguably the biggest, most prestigious team in F1. Maybe a better car, but then he needs to learn how to use the car, because it's a Ferrari. Going to that Ferrari team adds a lot more pressure on his shoulders, regardless of how much and how whatever he's won and all the records he's got.
And he's another driver who openly suffers with mental health issues as well.
Exactly. So, yeah, he's going to be there or thereabouts. He's not going to be It's not like he's gone to a team and the car is dramatically in the lead. And it's like if he'd have gone to, say, for example, he'd gone to McLaren, they've got the best car. He'd be up there all the time, surely,
Yeah.
on pure mechanics of a car because it's better. So I think that's where he's going to finish. Seventh,
I,
sixth.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, and I don't know yet. I need to see more of the season, but there is a lot of me now just thinking, and without sounding awful, is he done?
Think
No, I know.
you see, I agree with James.
Every week he is finishing in very similar positions at Ferrari that he did with Mercedes. And it's just that kind of that stupid decision by Massey just
is
do
the
something as it flipped a switch. I don't know. It's still early days.
No.
He could find the car and discover it and make some changes, but
is his body failing him? Is it like again like a footballer with pace? Is his senses failing him? I'd like to think not, but the evidence is suggesting it. Maybe he hasn't got that extra that he used to have.
he does get down a lot. But and Martin Brundle said it as well. Yes, he is not prime Lewis Hamilton. He isn't. He's not, and that's down to age and stuff like that. Granted, that's always going to be the same. But Brundle said, but he's still 98% there. And the thing is, that 98% is more than enough to do it. He just needs to find that 98%.
Yeah.
And again, it just boils down to mentality and mind games, and yeah.
The margins are so small, though. So small. Somebody makes a mistake, his car's a little bit better than the rest. You're talking podium. If that happens on a regular basis, he's going to be up there.
Can I be honest? I think this way of car doesn't suit Lewis Hamilton. The ground effect car, he's struggled in. I think he's more. Look at the shiny McLaren. He won. He won the title in. It had fins growing out
It was like Frankenstein of a car.
Yeah, but it was all downforce. Nothing ground effect. There were flat floors.
Yeah, go on.
Pointed where he wanted. This is a totally different era of Formula One. It's ground effect. People like Max have learned to adapt to it. You're always going to get a driver that doesn't adapt to it. Alonso, he can drive it. It's just that the car lets him down. Is this just not a style of formula that Lewis can handle?
Well, that's a really good point as well. Because I said he hasn't been the same since the decision by Massey, and we all agree on that anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the regs changed. So is that also a factor? Now we'll know next year with the new regs.
Yeah.
And then you point about Alonso as well. Is it the car? Or is it also Alonso? Is Alonso having the same kind of issues as Hamilton? Because let's face it, they've both been driving the same time. They've been teammates. They're both used to very, very similar cars. And they are both struggling.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, the new regs kick in next year. Is there going to be that change with Hamilton and Alonso? We don't know.
No, we don't know.
I think it's one to watch.
Definitely.
He's at the minute from this season, his best chance to get 8 is next year, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
Full reset. I mean, let's be honest. The noises coming out is that Mercedes have stolen a march on it again, like they did the last era. But his best chance is definitely next year. Definitely when it resets again. And like you say, this will probably answer a lot of questions if all of a sudden he's amazing again. then age wasn't a factor. Nothing's letting him down. It was the era of cars and ground effect. If he struggles in this, like I say, maybe he and Alonso, you're right with Alonso, maybe they've both come up, they know how to drive a certain car, and these ones, they can. It's like anything. You get a bit of software at work. I'm used to that one. I can't get used to this. Do you know? It is that in its driving style. Tony, you've just said, your first car was an Audi. Me. But you might drive a VW and you might think, do you know what? I don't like it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
My first car was a Vauxhall Corsa.
Well, man of the people, Tony Rawson.
Then I went to a Fiat Punto, and it was that Vauxhall Fiat. It was
man of the people.
But then, like we all do, we all go German one day, don't we? And suddenly it all makes sense. Everything is just.
James is the other side of the world. He don't do German. He goes further afield.
I've driven Japanese. Now, granted, I would like to drive German. I've always said I would like a very Mercedes at one point.
Hey, Grandad drives her, doesn't he? You have a very close relative that, I mean, might drive probably the best road car available.
Yeah, he's not my granddad though. He's more like my father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
He's John's granddad.
Son's granddad. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, that is the dream. That is the dream.
I mean, Christ, when I met Charlie, he had the DB9. He had a Bentley, and he got rid of the Bentley and got I think it was the Aston Martin Vintage he got. And then he got rid of that because he couldn't get into it anymore and got the G-Wagon.
I mean, they are bringing out a baby G-Wagon, but what's the fucking point? That's like getting a Babidas trainer. You want the full Adidas experience, not.
I mean, I didn't know that, but I was going to kind of go down a different route and go, well, why wouldn't you? I mean, everyone likes a Guinness, but everyone loves a baby Guinness.
That's true. That is a good way to look at it.
Hey, at least you two have been in a G-Wagon.
I had to pay for my experience, though. James just rings the father-in-law up and goes, "Hey, we're coming down at weekend. Oh, can you take me here?" Boom. Done.
I still haven't been in one.
Well, so you need to pay for it. I mean, it's almost like I'm paying for a lady of the night. I'm not. I just paid to go in a G-Wagon.
That's how high.
Are we kind of associated?
Just a car, Mark. It's just a car, Mark.
It's not to me.
It's just a car.
That G-Wagon was rocking.
That's some strong stuff. I mean, everybody at some point for like Father's Day or a birthday are going to get a driver's experience.
Well, that's true.
You've now effectively said you might as well just get them an Escort.
Can we move on with predictions?
He was talking about cars. He was talking about cars.
I was talking about cars.
And he got a little bit excited and he we went a little bit off topic.
Went straight into hose.
Yep. So,
boats and hose.
Boats and hose. So I'm being James this week for the first time ever because James was on his hollybobs. So to recap, I'll go in reverse order. Ooh. To recap, Jeddah, race 5. Charlie went for Norris, Russell, Piastri. She got no points. So she stays on 1 point. Next up my list. Well, right, we'll go Tony. So Tony went Norris.
Trying to beat you. I'm trying to beat you.
You are.
In a fucked up kind of way. I'm trying to beat her.
You're not doing bad. So Tony went for Norris, Piastri, Max. He was on 4 points. He finished on 4 points. He got nothing.
Damn it. So she needs a win.
Come on, Charlie.
Come on, Charlie.
James is next. He had 3 points and he went for Piastri, Norris, Russell. He doubled his tally to 6 points. Well done, James. First point scorer so far. I'm going to make this all about me. So Beth is next. She went She started on 9 points. She went Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc. She ended up on 13 points. Well done, Beth.
Well done.
The fuck?
She's in joint first place. But morally, I'm ahead because I'm on the podcast and she isn't. So, so I'm going to pay for that one. So I started on 9 points, same as Beth. I went for Piastri, Norris, Leclerc. And hang on. I've got that wrong. Beth went Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc. She only got 1 point. She's only on 10. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I thought
I normally do it. You had one opportunity.
I know. Fuck this up. This is why James does it. So to
You're
recap,
like a scroll of predictions.
I'm terrible. So Beth had Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc. She only got Leclerc, so she's gone from 9 to 10. So it's not fucking morally. I am actually winning outright. So fuck you, Beth. Fuck the FIA.
Yeah.
I was on 9 points. I had Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, which moves me up to 13 points.
Prick.
So, Miami, sprint weekend in Miami, the GP that no one can afford to go to unless you're mega rich like Drake. Oh, bad example. Someone rich.
Hey, Drake.
Hey, Drake, I heard him like I'm young. Allegedly.
That was a lyric off a song.
It was.
Off a song.
So, I have gone Piastri to win.
Whoa.
I've slagged him off all podcasts and says he's a fraud. So I've gone Lando Norris second. And I've gone Max third. I'm going to go with Tony. So Tony, what you got?
So I'm going to surprise a lot of people here. I'm going to go with Lando Norris to win. Oscar Piastri second. And third, Max Verstappen.
Nice.
Say that again. Norris for the win.
Yep.
Yes.
Norris
Norris
Max.
for the win. Oscar Piastri second. Max Verstappen third.
James, by your face, that's potentially what you probably had. So
Remember when, before we started recording and we was talking, and I said, I don't have predictions, and I went, actually, I have my winner. So I was going back to our conversation about Norris earlier, and I thought, you know what? It wasn't looking great for Norris last year, and then he won at Miami when it all turned around. So I've gone Norris for the win.
okay.
I have and ahed about this because I was thinking Russell, Max, where's it going to go? So I've gone Norris for the win, Piastri second, and Max third.
Hey.
So nice. Have you got Charlie's, James?
I've got Charlie's. Charlie has gone Norris, Piastri, Russell. How she's on 1 point, I ain't got a fucking clue.
Tony, have you got Beth?
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, unfortunately, FIA, we are running out of time.
That's 2 minutes.
Just to recap, the scores are I'm on 13, Beth on 10, James on 6, Tony 4, Charlie 1. James.
For those that are just listening to the podcast and not watching it on YouTube, I am gesturing at Mark that he is a complete and utter wanker.
So, James, take it home. You've got 2 minutes.
Are you going to finish in prayer? I think
you see the Pope is changed.
I would.
I can't. I don't think I can go back to the Vatican either. Mainly because when I was there, I said to John, you need to stay close to me, buddy, because if you are ever going to get grabbed anywhere, it is more likely going to happen here.
Yeah, it's very
Anyway,
popular area. Very, very popular area.
Earlier, guys.
A lot of people
And
there.
you probably haven't realised it yourself, in fairness. But
Please hover over the end button, please. Hover over the end button.
I am. Go on, let him talk.
Obviously, massive shout out to Andy and Cookie Cast. Share the love, guys. Pin down the person jogging across the road. Put your earbuds into their ears and make them listen to this. And then waterboard them if they don't listen to it again. But yeah, I noticed something the other day. It was the 29th of April yesterday. It's the 30th today. You know what tomorrow is?
It's gonna be me.
Do you not hear it?
It's gonna be me.
It's gonna be May.
Wow. I mean, there
I've
was
got to
massive
admit that was
build-up.
the shittest end to a podcast ever.
Oh, fuck you both. Okay,
Yeah.
we get to do that meme once a year. Once a year we get to do that. Can't do it tomorrow. Can't do it the day after. Can't
I'm not
do
coming
it
back.
today.
This might be my last episode. I'm
On
never
that
coming
terrible
back.
note, we may see you next week. I don't know after that. Andy might cancel us.
I fucking hate you both.
Goodbye.
So there you go. What do you think of that? Another one done. Another one gone. A race gone. A race in the rearview mirror, some would say. But a new, spanking, shiny race to look forward to. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. If you could do a small favour, one of these would help. All of them would be better, but just one would help. Like, share, subscribe and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. And check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There we have social media links and an email button. And that way you can get in touch with these guys, anybody on the network, and just say hi or love your podcast or anything like that. Ask a question. Yeah, anything. That is it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to this episode of CookieCast.